underground. Get lost in the underground. If the music makes it, all you do is drop low in the underground. Everybody lost and found. For the football all around. Lights are flashing, lights are flashing. In the underground. Get lost in the underground. If the music makes it.
Okay, what's going on, man? What is happening here? We are on a fine summer day. Well, not that fine, as there is a hell a lot of clouds in the sky. It will be warm today. It's going to be 28 degrees. And we're riding back home from uni. We're doing our philosophy subject today. And I thought you guys might want to come along. So let's do it, shall we? Where's your bike? Little Yamaha R7. She moves well. Bit of a fun weapon. Let's get cracking. The topic of today's video, we centered around riding safely in summer. Ooh. How do you do it? How do you do it? Another Yamaha R7. How do we ride safely in summer? It is hard, right? It's in the morning right now. It's, what is it? It's like a brisk 20 degrees, I'd say. 22 degrees. Like perfect riding temperature. And look at me. My sleeves are down. I'm wearing a jumper. Full squidded. And I don't have to be. I thought it was actually going to be warmer today, so I decided not to put all the layers on. But it's pretty easy to do, right? It's expensive, but it's easy to do. I think the most important part of your riding gear, if you were to choose nothing else than I think three things, right? Think contact points with the ground. If you were to come off the bike and you're sliding, what do you want in contact with the ground, right? So this is obviously not thinking hypothetically here, right? You've been hit by a car. If you've been hit by a car on a motorcycle and you're going pretty fast, you're probably quite cooked, right? And no amount of gear that's bumpy. This road is so bumpy. Fuck. No amount of gear is really going to help you if you've been hit at a high speed, right? So this is the gear that I'm going to be talking about today. Is not airbag suits. It's not the $2,000 expensive suits you can get, which might actually be able to save your life in that situation, which I would recommend getting if you had the money. But if you don't have the money, this is kind of the bare basics of what I, as a paramedic that hasn't done his trauma unit yet, so keep that in mind. This opinion might change when I do my trauma unit and I learn a bit more about the mechanics of sliding on tarmac and that type of thing. But in my opinion, at the moment, which is still a paramedic, and I do have some education around that, but not the amount that I think is enough to actually take my word on it. But this is my perception. This is what I wear, and this is what I think is safe for the road. For low speed riding, I ride in the city mostly. I don't ride on the highways. I think high speed accidents, there's a lot more things come into play when you're moving a lot faster. But I think for low speed accidents, contact points with the ground, if you were to low side, if you were to like slip out, high siding, that's gonna be brutal either way. The low side, when the bike slips out, I think the bare basics of what you need, right, is knee protection, right, to protect your knee when the bike slow sides. You can put your knee out, you can put your knee on the ground, and it's not going to get torn up instantly. So some kind of knee protection, which I usually wear, but I'm not actually wearing today because it was so hot. I sweated a lot with them yesterday, so I'll stuff it. I won't wear it today. But knee protection, some big knee guards that won't come off if you slip off the bike. Some big knee guards. Some gloves, not just any leather glove. You want a leather glove that has a slider on the bottom, like a plastic or a synthetic slider on it. So if you slip off, you can put your hands down and they're not going to get instantly destroyed by the road, right? So we've got knee pad, we've got hand sliders, we've got 2 contact points, and then I think this is a toss-up, right? If it was just going to be 3 things and not 4, I think the third thing that I would choose to wear, I'd probably sacrifice the skin on the arms for feet. If not, okay, so it's between 2 things. It's either a pair of race boots, like what I'm wearing right now, like an AlpineStar leather race boot. The reason why I like wearing an AlpineStar leather race boot is because it protects your upper leg. So this is a long one, so it protects your upper leg as well as your lower leg, or upper part of your lower calf muscle. And then that will be also protected by the knee guard, right? So then the boot almost goes up to your knee, right? It goes 3/4 of the way up your leg, and then the rest will be protected by the knee guard, but also allows air to like flow in your leg, right? This is obviously if you're not wearing padded, like a padded Kevlar pair of pants, which are notoriously incredibly hot and heavy in summer. So what I would wear as a bare minimum, don't take today as a reading of how I always ride my bike, because it's kind of a one-off, but as a bare minimum, boots, some kind of race boot or a leather boot of some sort. Race boots are better because they've got that really hard sole on them, which literally means I can scrape my foot on the ground at like 100 k's an hour and it won't, wear away or shred off me. Some kind of tough boot, knee pads, and some hand sliders, right? So in theory, if you fall off your bike from your own accord, this isn't from you getting hit by a car or something that's not your fault, right? In that case, you're a bit cooked, right? And that's kind of the risk you take as a motorcyclist, that you're going to be as aware as you can of the environment around you, right? And you be adaptive and you be aware. It's kind of probably the best word. So to put yourself in the best situation that you can be to increase your chance of survival, right? So we learn a lot of those on-road mechanics of motorcycling, like, merging lanes onto the other side, so if you don't see a car, like you're merging and sitting in the left-hand wheel track, making yourself visible. If you're coming along a row of cars, you don't sit closest to them, you sit on the outer lane, so you can react, but you can also see, they can see you easier in the mirror, like all that type of stuff. But so other than that, from a purely just you haven't been hit by the car, it is your own fault you've come off the bike, which is actually, you'd be surprised, the statistics are kind of leaning towards that way anyway. A lot of the motorcycle accidents that occur are on windy roads caused by the motorcyclists themselves. It's not actually caused by another car. So I think this would help people it would help a lot of people just putting on the right gear, right? Or putting on gear that will, in theory, help you the most, right? Even when it's hot. So we're trying to realize that, like, it sucks to ride in hot gear, it sucks to ride in hot gear when the weather's hot, right? Because you're overheating, you're in leathers, it feels like 1,000,000 degrees under there. So you're like, okay, if I'm going to wear, but some people might make the decision, like, I still wore stuff today, but boots and gloves and stuff. But some people, decide against that. They might wear, like, the motocross gloves. They might wear, incorrect footwear, or they might not wear any, like, knee pads or any upper body protection, right? I think it legitimately takes, what is it, like 0.2 of a second for your pants to rip off when you fall on the ground at like 60 k's an hour or something. So it's like, the pants aren't going to do anything, right? That's why I would suggest to get some really tough knee pads. The ones that I use are designed for half pipe work. It's actually, so like ones that they use on those massive half pipes for skateboarding. I think they won't last that long. So if you I think if you fell off at higher than 60 k's an hour, you wouldn't be in a good sort with them. But I think anything less than that, little falls, plus a set of gloves like this, leather palm, plus a slider, and some boots. I know I'm missing the upper body there. I think putting an air jacket, so I don't know, a lot of people don't actually know these exist. You can get an air jacket. An air jacket's made out of Cordura material. I actually have one of them, they're really good. And that is connected onto like a AA certified slider AA certified thicker mesh on the elbows and the shoulders, and then it's connected to I think it's a single A or a AA certified padding in the elbow, shoulder and back. And they don't actually heat up that much. Like if you're in direct sunlight, yeah, but when you ride, the air just goes straight through it. So that's a great thing, like an air vest, sick. So air vest, some slippy glovies with your slide protection on them, some knee pads and some boots. And what that means, if you've got your knee pad and your boot combo, like I was talking about before, what you can do is you can literally wear shorts, which seems a little bit counterintuitive. You're like, well, how would that work? I'm wearing shorts on a motorcycle? Well, the theory is if you're falling off at your own accord, right, and you're low siding, you're not getting flung over the handlebars. Sometimes you won't be able to make the decision how you're going to fall, right? But if you're not riding like an idiot and you don't lose the rear end of your bike, you most likely use the front end because you're over front braking, or you haven't kind of entered the corner correctly, you're most likely going to end up on all fours. Most likely, right? The bike's low sided, you put your knee out and you're on all fours, and the bike slipped off into the gutter, right? In that sense, hands out, knees down, you're on your knees and you're sliding, right? That is the best case scenario that happens, and you're almost aiming for that. And if you did that exact fall, I think it'd be totally fine. Knees, hands, and then maybe some elbow and back potentially if you're kind of tumbling a little bit. But obviously miss the pants. The pants scenario. The pants is still something I'm working on. Getting a lightweight, like a Cordura pant type thing that's still good at higher speeds, and you're not going to tear up your butt. Because I hate wearing. One thing I hate about safety wear, especially motorbike safety wear, is the pants. The pants are always dog shit. They're always heavy, always not stretchy. Like, they're just annoying. They're annoying. Or they're stretchy, but they're always really tight. And it's not kind of fun. But I think the bare basics that I would be wearing, which I don't suggest you guys do, but this is just kind of what I do, is put a really good set of knee pads on, good set of boots, good set of gloves, and an air vest, right? And then if you fall and you haven't been flung over the handlebars, you can put your hands out, rotate around to your knees, slide on your knees hopefully, and you're off. This may be a bit of a hot take on motorbike safety equipment, but this is, again, where we have the 40 degree Australian day looming over us. Some people may say that, oh, why are you riding your bike? Why are you riding your bike? I don't know what that person was looking at me weird about. Why are you riding your bike in such temperatures? Like, why don't you just ride it on a day that's not so hot? I get that sentiment, but it's like, I want to ride my motorbike. I bought it for a reason. I want to ride it, thus I'm going to ride it. And I will make those, I'll maybe take more of a chance to make myself feel a little bit more comfortable on the days that I know are going to be incredibly hot and uncomfortable. Anyway, that's kind of my yap about gear on the sickle. I'll get some food from Aldi, because Aldi's frickin' rocks. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. What do you guys wear? I'd actually like to know. Because, like, yeah, it's kind of like a little bit of a lull in the market of like kind of summery, more summery gear that kind of has almost the same safety rating as non-summery stuff. It's hard to because you need all leather is always the best. But yeah, I'd like to see what your guys' opinions are on it in the comments. All right. That's the video. Thanks for joining me. Talk soon. Like